So wait, we're getting 2 Pixar movies in this year alone. Well, we've already had 1 really awesome Pixar movie. Let's hope that this one is just as awesome. The Good Dinosaur takes place in a world where the meteor that destroyed the dinosaurs 65 million years ago just missed Earth. It flew over Earth, and the dinosaurs were like, oh, that was pretty. So millions of years go by, and the dinosaurs have become the more civilized species. Our main focus is on a farm led by a family of apatosauruses. The youngest child of that family is named Arlo, and he's a coward. He wants to prove himself to his family. One day, after chasing a human, which they call critters, he falls into the river and gets swept away and is basically miles away from home. So Arlo and this little human that he's named Spot basically go on a journey to get back home as they encounter many dangers and friends along the way. More than Inside Out, this was the Pixar movie I was really looking forward to, mainly because it was supposed to come out last year. It was supposed to come out in 2014, but apparently Pixar wasn't too happy with the way things were going, so they got rid of the director, Bob Peterson, who was the co-director for Up and the voice of Doug the dog. But luckily Peterson hasn't left Pixar. He's doing another movie with them. But they switched directors, they replaced all but 1 cast member, and now we have the movie. So usually when you hear stories like that, a movie getting delayed and having production difficulties, you really don't think it's going to end up being good. But being that this is Pixar, they have delivered, while not one of their best movies, still a really good movie for their lineup. The most incredible thing about this movie is the way it looks. The animation is beautiful. The landscapes are so beautiful that you sometimes think that they are actually real. And there's some points we watch the movie and are like, no, that's not real. That is all made in a computer. That is not live action footage. That is all CG, but it looks so damn good. And this movie does have a great concept when you think about it. The idea that the meteor missed the dinosaurs and they lived to be the more civilized species while the humans are basically the animals. But unfortunately, I didn't feel like they took full advantage of that idea. Sure, there's the opening with the Apatosaurus farm, and then there's something in the middle that works out really well. But I feel like they could have had a lot more ideas and shown more of this world where dinosaurs are the more civilized society without having to anthropomorphize them like the way Disney's doing with Zootopia. I think that was a missed opportunity, but how's the story? The story is pretty much the classic Pixar buddy movie where 2 unlikely characters who start out not really liking each other get together, and by the end they become best friends. And again, it works. If you got something good, you keep it going. You can draw a lot of parallels to this and other movies like The Land Before Time or The Lion King, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but again, with Pixar, you kind of expect them to really step up their game. But this movie does have some really well-done moments, some emotional moments, some memorable characters, like the side characters mainly, most notably the human Spot. Basically, he's a human child that acts like a dog, and the funniest bits come from him. And something I really admire about this movie is that there's almost no dialogue. It's mostly visual storytelling, which is my favorite kind of storytelling, where you don't need to tell the audience what's going on in the story, you just have to show them and they'll follow. So overall, I think it's a really good movie and a little better than I expected. But if I had one criticism about this movie, it's towards the character designs. As I said, the landscapes look so beautiful and so realistic that when you see the character designs for a lot of the dinosaurs, mainly Arlo and his family, you're taken out of it. These designs look way too cartoonish for an environment that's so photorealistic and beautiful. I mean, even something like The Land Before Time, which was 2D animated, the dinosaurs in that movie didn't even look that cartoonish. So I feel like they really screwed up on the design of the characters, or most of the characters. There are some cool designs. 2 of the T-Rexes featured in here, one of them voiced by Sam Elliott. I feel like those are really cool designs and more of the stuff that I kind of wanted to see from the other characters. But In the end, while not Pixar's finest effort, The Good Dinosaur is definitely a great animated film that's worth seeing in your lifetime. It's not as creative or inspired as Inside Out was, and one advantage that Inside Out had was appealing to a much wider audience. This movie is geared towards more of a younger crowd, but that doesn't mean it's bad at all. It's just, it could have been better, but hey, it's still good. What are you gonna do? And like with all Pixar movies, if you get to the theater early, you get to see a short. In this case, the short is Sanjay's Super Team, which basically tells the story of a boy who is really fond of superhero shows, but has to balance the life between his father and what he loves. And it's a really good personal story from the actual director, Sanjay Patel, because this was mostly based off a true story that he experienced during his childhood. So I'd really like that it's a personal story because the emotion is stronger, and I actually like this better than the short that was attached to Inside Out. But in terms of the feature films, Inside Out's the better movie, but The Good Dinosaur is still pretty damn good. And that's my review for The Good Dinosaur and my short review for Sanjay's Super Team. Leave a comment and tell me what you thought of the movies if you've seen them. What did you think? Like, subscribe, share me with your friends. Don't forget to check out my official website, therealmrrobinson.com. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, and Periscope. And this is The Real Mr. Robinson telling you there's only one.